for winning habits, the 10-second rule is implemented. You're following that. You're capturing all of your new deals. Next action is this is habit number 2, and that is just actively working those deals every day and actually pushing them forward, not letting them churn or just sit there. And then the third habit is plan your day at the end of the day. And the fourth one, the final one, is to learn and practice. So you've got the 3: capturing your deals, working your deals, and then planning your next day. That is going to put you head and shoulders above everybody else. But then what you can do to really amp it up so you don't get stuck in a rut is you always want to learn new things and then practice those things so that come game time, come during the day when you're working it, you're able to improve what you're doing. So, and that's what really the rest of all these courses are about, is things to learn and things to practice to increase your effectiveness at what you're doing. So, yeah, so some ways to, so during the day, most of your days, what you're going to be doing is capturing deals, working them towards binding, and then doing your end-of-day plan. Of course, during all that time, you're going to be learning things and you're going to be practicing new things. But it's kind of, I look at it as, it's almost like sports, right? You're out there playing a game. You're out there in the middle of it. And even the most elite athletes still need to set aside time outside of the game to learn new things and practice new things so that when they're in the game and live action's happening, they're able to, they've already practiced some new things. Those new things feel at least somewhat familiar and comfortable, and and then you're able to bring that into gameplay a little bit better. So, so that's the fourth habit, is set aside time, maybe once a week or at least, or if you're a brand new agent, you probably want to do this daily to practice things, and you can learn about, you know, how to do better marketing. You can learn about how to have a better first conversation with people so that you get rid of the stuff you don't want to write, and you set up people even before you do a quote. You've got people just begging to do business with you, really wanting to do business, so you're totally off the price. You know, you can learn things about how to get off the price battlefield during that first conversation, for example, or how to pre-bind before you actually even bind. I mean, there's just no end to it. You're gonna continue to learn and practice things outside of your regular day to shortcut your growth. Lots of agents don't do this. They don't set aside time. And what you'll see with those agents is they're kind of in a rut. Like, they maybe early on they did some learning and picked some stuff up early on in their career, and it got them to a point where they were comfortable, and they lost the drive to continue to learn and grow, and so they just kind of sit there. And actually, quite frankly, I mean, if they're living the life they want and they're happy with it, you know, I wouldn't hold it against them. But for those that want more and want to grow, learning and practicing is a great way to kind of shortcut the process. The other thing I'll say about that too is, even those that are comfortable with the results they're getting, most of the time, if you really sit them down and talk to them, say, well, how would you like to keep accomplishing what you're doing, but save another 2 hours a day, or make this easier, this or that? Almost, I mean, I would think everybody, if they stop and think about it for a second, they have a reason to want to learn and practice and improve their game. And I think we're happier as humans doing that. What I've noticed is, whether it's me or anybody that I'm leading, if you get into a rut and you're just doing the same thing over and over, starting to feel like you're just punching a clock and not challenging yourself, not learning, not growing, things can start to feel like they're pointless. So people are happier when they continue to learn and practice. So what I recommend, one of the things you can do as an agent, hopefully the agency, if you're an agent, producing agent, hopefully your sales manager or your agency owner provides some time, maybe a weekly sales meeting or a periodic sales meeting where new things are taught. I love role playing. Maybe those things are taught, and then there's some role playing that can happen, so that when you're in live action, when you're doing your actions each day, those things feel comfortable. If not, that's okay. You can do it on your own. You don't need anybody else to do this. So there's plenty of books out there. There's courses like this. I'm not the only one that has good ideas here that you can pull from. They're all over the place. There's some great Facebook groups. You can kind of trade ideas with your peers. There's lots of non-industry specific information. Now, I will say one of the challenges is when you go out there to non-industry specific stuff, there's time management, there's how to close deals, there's all this kind of stuff. And it can really take a lot of time to take that non-industry specific stuff and learn what really works for you inside the industry and inside your particular niche, what you're doing, what you're, how how that goes. That's been, for 20 years, that's been one of the biggest challenges is I'm hungry to learn new things, but how to take those things I learn and then make them work in my own unique circumstances has been kind of a lifelong process. So I'm hoping to shortcut a lot of that with the rest of these courses, is that go out there, pull from a lot of pull a lot from different places, but really pay attention and try to get sources, you know, I call them gurus, but just people that have been there and done that, actually been in your shoes, that might know something, and try to shortcut your learning curve by going straight to those folks is my advice. And beware the self-proclaimed gurus that have never actually done what you do. These guys that get in there and they try to, you know, they're failed agents or failed agency owners, and they say, well, I couldn't do that, so let me just try to sell hype. You know, there's a few of those out there. You want to be careful about those folks. Maybe they, you know, they sell marketing or this, or here's how you're going to market or whatever. And there's some great ones out there, but I just would say be a little bit careful. Make sure that I tend to give a little more credit to those that have actually been in the industry and found some success doing that. So anyway, those are the 4 habits, 10-second rule. So grab everything right away, throw it into Amped so that you don't lose it, and then work it every day out of your active list leads, each day out of Amped. Go through them all and keep focused that way. And then do your end of day plan, and then work it the next day, so you'll avoid procrastination or and working on the wrong things. You'll actually work what you want to work and be in control of your day. And then take time to learn or practice to shortcut growth so that you're not just kind of stuck in a rut. So those are the 4 big things. That's the completion of the winning habits section. We're going to dive in. The next section is the winning the mental game. I absolutely love this. We kind of touched on it through this, but we're going to go a little deeper on this one, winning the mental game. If you're an agent out there that well, let me just, I'll do a little intro there, and then we'll dive into some specific things. So that's the end of just remember those 4 habits. Put those, these will be the foundation for all of your success. The rest of it, all the winning the mental game, is helping you deal with some of the obstacles you're going to face, and then the supercharged sales, you'll get into that. Once you've got those habits down, you're going to be able to start taking some of this stuff from the supercharged sales section and just start plugging this stuff in and tweaking kind of your process, but it all rests on those habits. And so everything else will become easy as long as you do those 4 habits there. So anyway, congratulations on finishing this section, and I'll see you over there in the winning mental game section.